Hello again. I observed with interest that the odds on Nigel Farage entering number 10 Downing Street in 2029 have now shortened dramatically to 5 to 2, meaning that he's ahead of both Kemi Badenoch and Keir Starmer. This is indeed a remarkable achievement, but how much it owes to politics and how much to blind confidence in a charismatic leader, or indeed how much to rigging the market, as you might say, remains to be seen. I say this because, of course, it is perfectly possible to rig the odds that bookies are offering in this way, and it can be worthwhile spending a bit of money on doing so, simply for the favourable publicity which is so generated. Sometimes a relatively small investment in this way can pay dividends, and it is hoped become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me explain. Many people at the last election supported Nigel Farage and believed in what he said and thought that he was certainly the boy for the job. But they didn't vote for reform because they thought that their vote would be wasted. They believed that Farage had no real chance of winning the election and so stuck with the two big parties. If at the next election such people can be persuaded that there genuinely is a chance that reform will win, then they might be more inclined to cast their votes that way, instead of sticking with Labour or Conservative. One way of convincing people that Nigel Farage is in with a chance might be to see if he can become the favourite as far as the bookies like Ladbrokes are concerned. And in the description to this video I give a link to a news item showing that has indeed happened. Nigel Farage is the favourite to be the next Prime Minister in this country. People notice such things, and it makes it more likely that floating voters will be swayed and take a chance on him. The big money waged at bookmakers is, of course, on horses and so on. Those betting on the next leader of the Conservative Party or who will be Prime Minister in 2029 is really a much smaller affair. This means that if you can manage to put a decent amount of money on one person to be Prime Minister, a few £100,000, say, then the bookies will inevitably shorten the odds on that person because they don't want to get stung. It would have to be done quite carefully, of course, with the bets being evenly spaced around the country rather than one man making a single large bet, which would make it obvious what was going on. I might mention that this sort of thing, altering the odds of various horses, used to be quite a big operation. It was a well-known racket. There's a lot of tightening up has happened. It's very difficult to do now. It's popular in Victorian England. The Telegraph ruined that, really. One might, for example, also try to get all members of the party to place small bets. If every member of Reform bet just a fiver or so on Nigel Farage, that would be another £500,000 in bets. I do not personally think that there is the remotest chance of Nigel Farage entering Downing Street, and I strongly suspect that the odds here, which some people might confuse for some kind of opinion poll, are being deliberately rigged. It would certainly be worth spending a bit of money in this way and so persuade undecided voters that Nigel Farage really is in with a chance.